guys should set this up as a model home so people
Yeah.
can come and look at it.
So here we are with another YouTube personality, Mr. Fang.
Fung.
And I'll put a link to his channel. He's got a lot of videos. I was trying to figure out exactly what the purpose was for hovering over and watching this work. But it turns out that he's an economics professor who studies human motion and human interaction in the workplace. So I'll put a link to his channel. There's a lot of interesting studies, motion studies that are used in manufacturing and construction processes. So it's motion studies are something that goes back to factory management and all that. Anyway, on this Ikea build, we're looking at a couple different options, and one of the things that happens with the kitchen furniture is that, like, let's say there's going to be a lot of plumbing or a lot of cutting, we just won't put the back on the piece. Normally, when you're doing shelves, you really got to put the back on them so that it holds square. Well, with something this tall, it has to be bolted to the wall anyway. So here you'll see where I did this, and this isn't with the studs as much as it's with anchor bolts, okay? And so we use the same type of anchor arrangements that I would use on a television mount. The larger ones are rated, I think, for 70 pounds. So, and that's on the pulling force. So on the shear force, it's got even more capacity, but we're not going to have a shear force problem. We're basically attaching to the wall with minimal risk. And because the stonework was very square, we really don't need the back of the piece to hold square. And this is something to recommend when you've got kind of designer paint schemes on the wall and you want to preserve that, because the cardboard back on the Ikea furniture isn't necessarily as attractive to look at as the custom paint. The other thing we've been running into is a lot of fixtures and a lot of switches and things. So when we're putting shelving up where there's fixtures and stuff like that, we can just leave the backs off the furniture, but we got to make sure it's not optional to anchor everything to the wall in multiple locations. So all these pieces are screwed together, and then of course we also anchor at the bottom just in case somebody's walking by and they bump into it or something like that. We're anchored at the bottom. Now we'll try to conceal those anchors, but that's how we would do something like that.